What is your take on freebies? Because, that's also a very, very important aspect of the survey that was conducted, and also generally during elections, like, we just around the corner. Do you think freebies which have been announced by the Congress, by the JDS, will it really impact the way a voter votes? Or is it caste? Freebies versus caste.
Well,
Tricky.
Sudha, before I talk about the freebies, let me also just add in over here
Huh.
that in the last few weeks after the elections were announced, we have seen seizure of around 270 crore rupees worth of cash, gold, pressure cookers, etc., which were out there for distribution to prospective voters. Now, what does that show? What's first thing is that the parties believe that by doling out all these kind of things or gifting these kind of things, they are able to influence the voter and get their vote. They think they can buy it.
Right.
Now, that is clearly reflective of the kind of state that the democracy is being reduced to.
Huh.
Now, as far as the freebies is concerned, there are different ways of looking at this. I may subscribe to some of them as, because let's say a free transport for women, that is something which, cannot be considered as a freebie, but a welfare scheme, because a state like Delhi has shown that, it really does make a lot of difference to a lot of, lower middle class women who earlier maybe had to walk 1 or 2 kilometers, were able to take the free bus now. So there it's welfare. But, giving a stipend to a graduate of promising that 3,000 rupees will be given to you for 2 years, that certainly is not the kind of solution that you give to a young unemployed graduate. You rather get him a job, or do something that he's independent, rather than for 2 years he's dependent on that 3,000 rupees, which may actually not make much of a difference to his life, but is a burden on the exchequer. So different schemes will have different kind of impact.
Right.
Electricity, yes, for the small uh, poor households where 200 units or 300 units that's been promised is a different thing. Where in a slum, it may mean a lot of thing, because they would be able to use gadgets and appliances without worrying about the electricity bill going up. But this is something that we need to also understand, that apart from these kind of freebies that are being promised now, there has to be a transparency as to what is actually reaching people and
Right.
what is not reaching people. Because recently there have been several instances where 28, 29-year-old men have been found to be taking old age pension, because they had
Wow.
forged documents, and pensions were getting into their accounts. So this is something where clarity is required, because at the end of the day, it's your and my money which goes. No political party brings money from somewhere else and gives it to the people. It takes from
Absolutely
the
right.
taxpayers.
Absolutely right. Very well put. Bhaskar, I want to ask you this question as well. Freebies, free electricity, money to the female head of the family, etc., etc. Do you think freebies really will matter during this election in Karnataka?
Sudha, I think as Roja pointed out, freebies will certainly make sense in the sense it will certainly influence voters to go for a particular party X or Y or Z. Number one. Number two, as far as the philosophy of freebies is concerned, I have a kind of slightly different point of view from what Vijay said. See, in Delhi, for instance, Delhi government need not have to spend money on irrigation, on various other things. See, for instance, in Tamil Nadu or in the Karnataka, so the revenue we have from one side, and we have commitments to irrigation projects, to health, and there are so many social issues we have to sort it out. So in Delhi, those kind of issues are not there. So that's why Delhi government can afford to give this kind of freebies or shops. But in Karnataka or in a big state like Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Bihar or UP, I think people and government should stop, entertaining or giving freebies, because there are two things which happened. One is we have to get money, either we have to raise the tax or we have to get it from external agencies like in World Bank or IMF to feed these kind of things, number one. Number two, what happens in the implementation of such schemes? corruption and rampant favoritism and nepotism, which you can't weed out. So, as a result, such schemes basically end up being a kind of white elephant on the state exchequer than helping people to get empowered.